OpenAI just opened up ads inside of ChatGPT. 400 million weekly users asking questions with real buying intent. And now any business in the US can run ads against those conversations for as little as $3 a click. Here's how to set up your first ChatGPT Ads Manager campaign from scratch. So first, what are ChatGPT ads and where do they actually show up? ChatGPT ads appear below the AI's response, clearly labeled sponsored, visually separated from the answer. They only show to users on the free and go tiers. So if someone's paying for Plus, Pro, or Enterprise, then they're not going to see your ad. The formats right now include sponsored text placements, product cards with images and pricing, and sidebar ads on desktop. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to register, build your first campaign, write targeting that actually works, and set your bids. The full setup start to finish. There's 4 parts to this. First, account setup, then targeting. This is where ChatGPT ads are completely different from anything else. Then ad creative plus bidding, and launching plus monitoring performance. First, you're gonna head to ads.openai.com. Hit get started. That's where you're gonna register with your work email, verify your business, and go through onboarding. They do actually verify every business, and it took my business 12 days to get through, so just know that there's a little bit of a waiting period. Once you're approved, before you create anything, you wanna handle these 3 setup steps. Go to settings, then general, enter your advertiser name, and upload your brand logo with exactly how you want them to appear on your ads inside ChatGPT. Then head to billing, hit set up billing profile, and get your card details in there. And if you're running this with a team, then you're gonna go to settings and then users and invite team members. There's 3 access levels. Admin has full control, members for campaign management, or view only. Now you're ready to set up your first campaign. This is the OpenAI Ads Manager dashboard. And so if you've ever touched Google Ads or Meta Ads Manager, then this is gonna basically feel like the same thing. It's the same hierarchy with campaigns at the top, ad groups inside those, and then individual ads inside of ad groups. Click Create Campaign, and your first decision is your objective. Right now, you've got 2 options, Reach, which is CPM, when you're paying per 1,000 impressions, or Clicks, which is CPC, and you're paying per click. For most businesses testing this for the first time, you're gonna want clicks. You wanna know if people are actually engaging with you before you're optimizing for eyeballs. Later on, you'll be able to optimize for conversions, but for now, we're just gonna set your daily budget. There's no minimum spend anymore. OpenAI used to have a minimum spend of $50,000, but now there is no minimum spend anymore. So you can just start with $20 or $50 a day, whatever you're comfortable with. You can also add conversion events here if you want to track for specific actions and set a start date and end date for a campaign. Next, we're on to geographic targeting. Right now, it's country level only, and the US is default, but they are rolling out more countries and eventually will likely do local targeting. Okay, so the account's live and we've got the campaign structure set up. Next part is the one that actually determines whether your ads work or not. But first, this video is brought to you by Golance. You're about to spend $3 to $5 every time someone clicks your ChatGPT ad. Stop overpaying on hiring too. Most freelance platforms are going to charge both you and your freelancer combined fees of over 20%, versus Golance charges only 7.95% total. You can either absorb that fee on your side, pass it along to your freelancer, or split it. And no matter what, it is going to come out cheaper. Teams at Ripple, ClearStreet, and Pearson are all using it. Switch over to Golance today using the QR code on the screen to support the channel, or alternatively, the link is also in the description. Now on to targeting. This is where ChatGPT Ads Manager gets really interesting and where it's completely different from what you might have experienced on Google or Meta. There's no keywords, there's no audience segments, there's no demographic targeting yet. Instead, you write what OpenAI calls context hints. These are plain language descriptions of where your ad should appear. Think of it like writing a prompt. You're telling the system, show my ad when the conversation is about this. A lot of people are gonna screw this up though, so here's what a bad one looks like. It's too vague. It matches like everything. Here's what a strong one looks like. Now you see the difference. We're describing a specific conversation, not just like a demographic. Here's a couple of more examples that show you the range of what we're looking for. For example, for an accounting software as a service, when users compare invoicing software for freelancers or ask how to send professional invoices. Or if you're a coffee brand, when users are asking about the best coffee beans for home espresso machines or discuss brewing methods, or for a recruiting platform when users ask how to hire remote developers or compare freelance platforms for tech talent. The pattern that we're looking for here is describing the conversation that your ideal customer is already having with their AI, not who they are, what they're asking about. This is called search intent-based targeting at the conversational level, and it's closer to how Google search ads work than how meta ads work, except instead of bidding on project management software as a keyword, then you're describing the full context of that conversation. You can add multiple context hints per ad group and then stack them, with each one being another conversation that your ad can match against. Now to the ad itself. You're building this inside the ad group. You need a headline, a short description, your destination URL, and an image. The creative guidelines are pretty simple. You just got to keep it conversational, keep it helpful, and skip the hard sell, because OpenAI is going to reject ads that are like too aggressive or misleading. Like, this isn't a banner ad. It sits inside of the AI conversation, so the tone has to match that. So bad headline is like revolutionary AI-powered solution, buy now. That's not going to work. Good headline is more like track invoices and get paid faster. Free trial, no commitment. Think helpful recommendation from a friend, not billboard. Once you've filled in the creative, check out the preview panel, because that's exactly how your ad is going to look once it's served inside of ChatGPT. Now we're on to bidding. Back in the ad group, if you chose CPC, OpenAI recommends starting bids between $3 and $5 per click. Personally, I would say that when you're just starting out, you want to set it, test it, and adjust based on performance. You're going to see options to set up conversion tracking, and there's a pixel that you can install, plus a conversions API if you want server-side tracking. You're going to want to do all of this, but we're going to cover tests and getting your conversion tracking installed in more detail in the next video. Quick note though, if you're managing a lot of campaigns, there's also a bulk upload workflow where you download the template and just fill in your campaigns, your ad groups, and the ads in the spreadsheet, and then re-upload it. It's a lot faster than clicking through the UI and just manually doing every single campaign. Then you hit publish, your campaign goes into review, usually takes a few hours, and then you're live. Once your campaign clears review, check that the status shows active for your campaigns, ad groups, and ads, all three levels, because if something's not serving, then the Ads Manager is going to give you a descriptive message telling you exactly why. Generally, it's a pretty quick fix. You just have to edit the campaign and resubmit. But know that some ads are going to get rejected for policy reasons, so you do have to check error messages before assuming that it's just a bug. But once you're live, performance metrics are going to start populating things like impressions, clicks, spend, CTR, average CPM, and average CPC. There's two ways to dig deeper. You can export your data as a CSV, selecting the specific campaigns, hitting export, and choosing cumulative or daily values, or you can use the built-in insights charts by clicking any metric and seeing the performance tracked over time. And if you need to make any changes after launch, then you just hover over the campaign, click on the three dots, press edit campaign, or if you're managing at scale, then you can just use the bulk edit workflow and export, edit the things, and just re-upload. The same thing works for editing ad groups and individual ads. But the ChatGPT Ads Manager isn't perfect. It is still in beta, and it does have some limitations. As of this video, here's a couple of them. There's limited countries and demographic targeting. They just expanded to the United States, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, but expect them to roll out more countries soon. Country level is about as deep as you can get right now. There's no age, no gender, no income brackets. You're kind of on your own. Context hints are kind of your only lever for targeting right now, but you can get creative with those, and we're going to cover those also in the next video. Your ads are going to only reach users that are on the free plan or the $8 a month Go plan. Anybody who's on Plus, Pro, Business, Enterprise, and EDU users are not going to see your ads because they basically pay for ad free. But when we're talking about over 400 million weekly high intent ChatGPT users, it's still a pretty massive audience. As far as conversion tracking goes, it does exist, but it's pretty basic compared to Google Ads or Meta. Third-party measurement partnerships are coming, but for today, you are working with only first-party data and directional signals. And we've touched on this before. On sensitive topics, your ads are just not going to show on conversations about health, mental health, or politics, things like that. But do expect for these things to evolve because OpenAI is building this extremely fast. Leave me a comment saying, I can't wait for the update when it's time for me to update this video. And that's the full setup. Account, campaign, context hints, creative, and bidding, you are live. But know that that is just the first step. Remember, ChatGPT intent-based ads are totally different from old Google Ads, keyword approach. So to start creating ads that truly perform on ChatGPT specifically, you want to get your conversion tracking set up and more. Check out this full tutorial right here. See you there.